Hi and welcome to Outwell and to the Bear Lake 4 from the Classic Collection. You can see here it's a tunnel design tent which is aimed to sleep up to 4 people. It has 2 bedrooms across the back and then good sized sealed living space in the middle here and this long extended canopy at the front. So we will talk you through the features on the inside shortly, but first of all I just want to talk you through the features on the outside. So I'll start off with the fly sheet that we're using on here, which is our Outex AirTech material. So this is actually a poly cotton material where we have a 65% cotton and 35% polyester. So what this means is that there are quite a few advantages to this material. The first, I would say for me, is the fact that this is a very, very long lasting material. So it doesn't degrade very quickly under UV degradation, so basically sunlight. So it will last a good long time. Secondly, it's a breathable material, so this is going to be a good tent for those who perhaps are going to travel to warmer climates. Certainly going to keep you a little bit more cool and comfortable inside the tent. But what it will also do is react to the temperature that it's in, so it will keep you nice and cool in warmer climates. But also if it gets a little bit cold, then it will keep you a wee bit more cozy inside as well. Finally, with this fabric, what we have here is a naturally waterproof material. We do put a coating on this material to ensure that light drizzle can bead away from the material. But for it to be naturally waterproof, what it needs to do actually is go through the process of getting wet and then drying just a few times. And once that has done that, you will find that this material will actually seal itself. So those are the 3 sort of main highlights of this particular type of fly sheet. So next we're then using a steel frame on this tent from front to back here. So you're getting a really solid and rigid structure throughout this tent. Most of the poles are actually all identical apart from the back one there, so it's really easy to put together. We do colour code that pole at the back with that sleeve to make sure that you're going to get the right one in the right place, but certainly when it comes to pitching this tent you can't really go wrong. So next, what I'd like to then highlight is that we're using our wind stabiliser system on here. So I'll just show you how that works. When you set the tent up, you simply have to wrap these Velcro tabs around the poles like this and put that into position like there. We have one at the top and at the bottom of each pole all the way around the tent, and this is then where we attach our guy lines. When we take the guy lines out and peg them into place, it pulls the fly sheet material against the frame of the tent, making it much more taut and therefore much more stable. So we have the steel frame coupled with our wind stabiliser system to ensure that it's going to withstand pretty high winds, and of course it's naturally waterproof too. So if you're looking to camp in bad weather, this is certainly going to be a good tent. So next we have our ventilation on the side here. Now we have a panel here, there's some on the other side of course and at the back of the tent as well. If I just lift this up and show you underneath here, you'll see that we have this mesh strip under there to allow cool fresh air into the tent. Even though this material is breathable, we do like to add a little bit extra ventilation in there for you. If it does get too chilly, this is easy to remove. You can simply take off these Velcro tabs and just tuck them inside like this and then push down on the Velcro there. I'll just leave that open for now. So just underneath the vent is where we have a large window. Again, same on the other side and around the front as well. We have large windows all the way around the tent, and they're all tinted windows. So they serve 2 key functions, one of which is to reduce the amount of glare from the sun within the tent, and the second is of course to give you much better privacy within the tent as well. So I mentioned earlier on that we have our guy lines attached to our wind stabiliser system, and I'll just highlight here that we have our floating guy lines on this tent. So you can see this is where we have the black guy line towards the top, which ties in with the trim of the tent, and then towards the bottom of it here we've got our luminous guy line just to stop you tripping over them quite as easily when it's dark. So the floating guy line comes from this being tied in with the trim of the tent, and then you have this sort of floating luminous guy line towards the bottom there. Each of the guy lines has its own retainer, so when you come to pack the tent down, you'll find that there is a Velcro loop just like this one here, so we can just open that up and then wrap up the guy line and pop it in here so that the next time you come to use the tent, these are going to be easily accessible. So coming round to the front of the tent, quite a big feature on the Bear Lake 4 is this extended canopy. Now it does obviously come with the tent, and to get it on there it's just a case of zipping it on to the front with this steel pole here. So again, with the steel pole at the front, it's certainly nice and stable. You can see we've got guy lines along here as well. So what this does is offers a great outside space, perhaps for dining on a nicer sort of day weather-wise, or if you need a little bit of shade from sun or shelter, if it's drizzly outside, then you've got quite a great useful space here for that. What that also allows us to do then is have this vertical front door on the tent here, and that certainly gives you a great amount of space inside, a great amount of usable space. So with the door being vertical and not sort of slanted, you find that you've got full usable space just straight away into this tent here. The door itself is a D door, so you can see here that it zips to the side and it's just toggled away, so that certainly makes it more accessible. There is also behind this door then a full mesh door for ventilation as well. So you can leave the outside door like this rolled away, and then we can zip that full mesh door into place to seal the tent, allowing fresh air in there, but keeping out those unwanted bugs. Of course, you can see here as well that there is a large tinted window on that door there as well, so even when it's closed over, you're going to get good views outside. It's a good height of door as well, and it's a good width to allow you to get all your kit in and out of the tent, and it certainly makes it nice and accessible. Once you're in here, you should see, hopefully, that there's plenty of space within this tent, accentuated by the large windows, as I mentioned earlier on. Head height, there's plenty of that as well. I'm quite tall, at about 1.95 metre, and you can see above me there's lots of space here. So as I said there, we've got large windows all the way around the tent, but if you want even more privacy than just the tinted windows, you will find that each window has its own curtain, which we have rolled away here. This can be brought either halfway up or it can be fully closed as well. And here you can see the mesh ventilation that I talked about earlier on. So above me here is a lantern hanging point. Now we actually have one of our Corvus strip lights attached to this at the moment, but of course you can hang an electrical lantern from here or perhaps a smaller lantern. And then going away both directions from that point, you'll find there's a cable tidy which runs all the way down to where we then have a cable entry point. So if I just zip this open here, you'll see that we actually do have a cable coming in from the outside, which is exactly what that's designed for, because then you don't have to open up the side door here. So what you will find is you have a side door on here, and there is obviously a side door on this side as well. And these both have full zippable mesh doors as well. So that's 3 full mesh doors on this tent, allowing for great through flow ventilation. If you are in warmer climates, then you can leave these open, but leave the outside doors open rather, but have the mesh doors zipped, so you're not going to get those bugs coming in. In terms of the ground sheet, from the front area right to the back and side to side, it's a fully sealed ground sheet, so you can see it's also a bathtub style, so it comes up around the edges. That's going to stop any draft from coming in. Things like dirt, dust and sand also coming in onto your ground sheet. And again, hopefully keep out those unwanted bugs as well. At the back of the tent is where the bedrooms are. As I said before, there are 2 separate bedrooms here that can sleep up to 4 people. And we use our wave-shaped hanging point system up here to hang the bedrooms in place. Now, you can see that these do give a certain sort of style to the tent, but they are functional as well because they take off any stress off of this top seam of the bedrooms. When it comes to styling, we then add in the stripes onto these bedrooms as well to give you that home away from home feel. You can then see that we have some handy storage pockets on the outside, great for smaller personal possessions too. Here I want to highlight that we have a full mesh door on the bedroom as well, so again, great ventilation within here. But you'll see here that it is a no-seam mesh, so it's a dark mesh, so you get great privacy there. If you do want full privacy, then obviously you've got the outside door rolled away at the moment, which can be zipped over to give full privacy. So inside the bedrooms, you will find that we have some handy storage pockets that run along the sides here, so great for books or magazines, phones and chargers and things like that. Across the back, you'll find that there is a large mesh ventilation panel which corresponds to ventilation on the outside fly sheet as well. You'll then see, separating the 2 bedrooms here, we have this full zipped piece of material. Of course, that can be zipped open completely to create one large bedroom across the back here, or as we have here, to create the 2 separate ones. You'll then see that there's a zip that runs down the middle of the bedrooms, which highlights the fact that we are using our universal inner system here, and we'll now just show you how that works. So we have a few optional extras available for this tent, which would be the fleece carpet for the living area, which you can see in here at the moment, which certainly gives a little bit more comfort underfoot. There's then a footprint available to go underneath the ground sheet of this tent, which is going to be really handy to keep that clean and dry on those wet and muddy days. We then also have an extension available which would replace this front canopy here, that would just have walls down the side instead. So there you have it then, that's all the features of the Bear Lake 4 from our classic collection. Thank you very much for watching.